Alrighty guys, welcome back to 5-9 Gaming. Today I'm being joined by the man, the legend, the FSK user himself, Professor Sensei. Go ahead and say what's up to the people, man.
Hey, I'm doing good. I feel like that last title might have been some shade, but I'll wear it broadly. We run Red Gohan around here.
Oh yeah, definitely. So today we are going to be doing a top 10 tier list on the best non-Zenkai and non-LF units. And the way we're going to be evaluating these units is basically just like their utility, how often you see them, and how much of a splash they have made on the meta since their release and stuff like that. And so we'll basically go from 10 to 1, and starting off with number 10 on our list, it is going to be MVP 17. So how do you think about his placement right here at number 10, Prof?
Well, before we get into all of this, let me preference all the viewers that these are all supremely good units. So there's arguments to be made for pretty much all of these, at least for the first 6 that we're going to go through. I could see you moving in these guys anywhere around, but this 17 definitely earns his spot on this list due to his I guess 90% when what he comes into the battlefield with, and then if an ally dies, he goes up to like 140% damage increase. This man has a strike cover change, very accessible unit due to him also being an all-star. So Android 17 is definitely a formidable unit and definitely deserving of a top 10 spot.
Oh yeah, definitely. Also because of the fact that he, like how you said, he provides a lot of that utility. He can fit on the Android's tag, but in the future I definitely do seeing him being on a really, really strong Universal Survival Saga tag once we do get some more members for that.
Oh yeah, he's definitely going to be surviving for a while. His Z ability is first pick, so he'll be around for a year to come.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, so moving on to number 9, we have Jiren. So this guy, honestly, I think a lot of people kind of like underrated this guy a little bit. Well, I wouldn't say underrated, but I feel like a lot of people kind of just thought he fell off. But to this day, I feel like this guy is actually extremely good, especially if you have him at high stars. I feel like he just has a ton of utility in his kit. And I think a lot of people just basically put him in Vados' shadow because they're both green. What do you think?
So personally, when I run Rival Universe, I run him with Vados. I find that you just have an overwhelming amount of healing. Now that's a different topic, but you know, I think this Jiren is an extremely powerful unit. If you go through his kit line by line, you'll see that he almost mimics the Red Gogeta Zenkai. So he's extremely formidable. He's got blast armor on his strike attacks and his ultimate, I believe, and he just all around, you know, good kit. I think the issue with this Jiren for a lot of players is that a lot of units today are coming out in the shadow of Zenkai. If you were to remove Zenkai from the situation, this unit would be easily high S tier, no question in my mind.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can definitely see that as well. Especially how I think we were talking earlier the other day about these blast armor units and just how oppressive they can be, especially in PvP. And so I definitely do think that this guy deserves this number 9 spot for sure. All right, so moving on to number 8. Well, this is actually, I think, the only anniversary sparking to make it onto the list. It's going to be Purple Vegito Blue. So what are your thoughts on this unit right here, Prof?
So I was a mixed basket when this unit first came out, and I've come to have a very, very fond appreciation, mainly due to his green card usage. The no switching setups that this unit can set up can be absolutely formidable. His basic damage he has when he's just, you know, put the unit on the field, start throwing some cards, is definitely top tier. He, unlike his LF counterpart, he doesn't have the blast armor on his strike, but he does retain it on his ultimate and green card. So I don't know. I'm a big fan of this unit. I think he's going to be a staple on the Fusion in the future teams for quite a while to come. I haven't seen him too much on the God Key team, but we'll just have to see. I think he's a very, very formidable pick.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think when he had first came out, I initially kind of like did an evaluation on him, and I heavily underrated him until I actually put him to use, put him to more practice, actually got comfortable with his kit. Because something that I was actually able to perform with him that I wasn't aware that I could actually do is because he actually does get that card draw speed off of the green card. And then he also gets card draw speed once you do activate the ultimate. So sometimes it's definitely situational, but sometimes you can find yourself with double card draw speed with this guy. You know, it can be pretty nasty at times.
Well, and one of the nice things he has is he got the same treatment Bardock got. If you don't have a vanish, one of the best uses for his ultimate is just throw it at your opponent, knowing full fact it's going to miss, get your vanish back, and then, you know, go again. So this unit's a little tricky. A lot of people are going to kind of, you know, miss them on their first go just because you got to read into his kit and the situations that he enables for you. But I've definitely been handed by this guy a couple times now.
Oh yeah, definitely. Same for me as well. All right, so moving on to the next unit that we have on our list, we have Android 21 Good. So as you guys do know, I have to simp for this character, for this unit. But honestly, I was kind of debating actually giving her a spot on this list, but thanks to Professor Sensei, he has shown me the light. Go ahead and explain why this character deserves the number, what is this? The number 7 spot.
Well, Good 21 is a thorn in many players' side. She's got 2 defining moments. Like, she's got a bunch of, you know, tricks like converting your strikes to blast and all that nonsense. The main thing that she possesses is a stunning green card. Not only does it give her the free blue, which is just free damage, but that lets you set up a Rising Rush pretty much against whoever you want. You have to have immunity to deal with this unit. She's got a tier 1 bench, so you can throw her on any team you want. I believe she is optimal in girls region and Android, but that's mainly because the girls team is, you know, pretty much Android 18 units at this point. But it's mainly she puts a player in a very precarious situation because you can't freely rush your opponent due to her having the IT cover change. And then she's got that green card that you always have to be aware of. If you cover in and then she just swaps in and green cards you, that's game over. She can select the unit she wants to hit. So I think just because you have to, like I say, you have to respect the unit. You can't just ignore 21 or she'll sweep your team. She's easily deserving of this spot on my list.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can definitely see that now, especially considering the fact that personally, I was looking at this really like one-dimensionally, where I was just like, oh no, she's not, you know, Super 17 easily replaces her, but then you went ahead and pointed out a green-green-yellow setup easily, right? And then you're going to have just an immense amount of green cards and stuff like that you can go ahead and use and abuse at your leisure. So I can definitely see her having this spot as well. All right, moving on to number 6, we have Purple Demon King Piccolo, probably like one of my favorite units on this list right here, right? He does just an immense amount of stuff. I feel like even though people do say that he's kind of just falling off a little bit, I know he is. He went from S tier down to tier 1 in the Game Press tier list, but personally, I think he still got what it takes, and I definitely do think he's deserving of this number 6 spot. Do you want to go ahead and shed some light on this man right here, Prof?
I was kind of finicky about this unit at first. I mainly didn't like his requirements for transformation. But after this unit transforms, he feels like he's a one-man army. Very similar to his yellow counterpart. He just kind of tears through you. There's not much you can do about it. He is the perfect patch for his team. The region team needed a good solid purple, and he came in and filled that role. I think beforehand they were kind of relying on 21 or just not having one in general. So I very big fan of this unit. I think that like we've discussed previously, a lot of people tend to err on the Zenkai side, and this man hits as powerful as one. I believe his damage multiplier after transformation is somewhere around 100%. Or maybe you have to have like an enemy swap. Let me just go through it real quick. Yeah, so his second, it is going to be 100%. After you use his second main ability, you're going to get 20% damage inflicted, and then his base passive will have you at 80. So he's chipping away at what, like, you know, Zenkai Purple Gohan does at his maximum potential. So this unit is definitely very formidable and has the base stat total to boot. So the last thing is going to be his green card for combo manipulation, but I would definitely put him in the top 5 or top 10, so around that area.
Oh yeah, definitely. It just also too, another thing that I just absolutely love about this unit, how we're talking about his damage passes and stuff like that. When his opponent swaps, he randomly draws that new card, he restores his ki, and he gets an extra 20% to damage inflicted. And same thing with this green card. He gets, when he pops his green card, he restores his own ki, randomly draws a new card, and gets another 20% to damage inflicted. So if you have a lot of green cards, you could definitely go ahead and get used to this. If he's swapping out constantly, you're definitely going to get a whole lot of value. And I think it honestly throws a lot of people off, because something that I like to do when I'm running this unit is when you kill someone, right, when you kill one of your opponent's units and they come back in, sometimes they'll start off with a tackle, right, assuming that you don't have any more cards, that your combo is finished. But since he draws that card, as soon as your enemy swaps out, you still will have something to go ahead and back you up. Just in case they do go for a tackle, you can immediately just queue up that card, maybe get the blast off, get the strike off, and, you know, just continue just going on your rampage. I absolutely love this unit.
Yeah, something I forgot to mention too, his transformation refreshes his hand. And if you swap out in front of him, he gets a Dragon Ball. And I believe you have to have the Dragon Balls in your hand when you swap into the field. So it's not like you can have 4, get the 5th, and then transform. You can correct me if I'm wrong with that one, but I'm pretty sure you have to be ready to transform when you come in.
Yeah,
but
you
it
do.
is key, I believe, 100 and a full hand.
Yes.
So this unit is definitely a force to be reckoned with. He's a lot of people like to compare him to Green Goku Black, and we all know just how powerful that unit is.
Of course. Oh yeah, definitely. All right, so moving on to number 5 on the list. This is where I think you guys are going to definitely start seeing like the most seen units and stuff like that. We have Toppo. So basically, this man takes up half your screen, right? But he just does so much. He is truly like the jack of all trades right here. He's probably like one of the best Sparkings to release in a very, very long time. And then especially because of the fact that this guy, I'm not even gonna lie, when the Pride Troopers first came out, I just thought it was the Jiren show. I truly thought it was just Jiren over everyone. But this guy truly has withstood the test of time. I've seen him on so many wonky teams, and he just, you know, he's just always. I feel like I always see him in PvP. How about yourself?
So, yeah, I was a little bit of a different camp when I read this kit initially. I was just floored. I was like, oh my god, what have they done? This unit is, and we'll get into Vados here in just a moment. But this unit is, he does everything. I guess the big defining moments that you're gonna have from Toppo is going to be from his ultimate lock-in, heal, and substitution count. Pretty much all tied into his main ability, but that aside, which is just incredible, because he's got that same kind of LF Vegeta feel, where if you start a combo on somebody, they can't swap out. He can just main ability and lock you in with that ultimate right then and there. So if he's hitting your precious red unit or a unit that you have that's sub 50% HP, he can just execute them right then and there. That is unbelievably powerful. Lowers sub count by 5 in the same stroke, and heals the whole team by 20% HP and gives them a damage boost by like 25-30%. But one of my favorite things about this Toppo is that after he gets hit by any attack, namely, you know, tap blast, strike attack, any combo that ends, and you see the little damage counter come up and it tells you how many hits your opponent's combo was, he gives the entire team another damage buff by 25%, and then he's going to give himself another damage buff on top of that. So this Toppo very quickly gets out of control, and then just to top everything off, the damn unit has endurance. Like, they didn't stop with him. His blue card and his green card are not that interesting in my opinion, but everything else I just labeled off should just kind of complete the unit right there for you.
Yeah, exactly. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys think that they should have gave Toppo more. Yeah, because he already has it all. All right. Going on into the next one, into the next unit on our list, we have number 4. We have Vados. All right, so I know that you have a lot to say about this unit right here. I think the biggest issue that I wanted to go ahead and mention with Vados that I have personally is a lot of people kind of like, I especially think, I'm not gonna lie, I think a lot of people in like the lower ranks kind of lowball Vados a lot. But you have to just absolutely keep in mind that Vados is like the glue that holds down God Key and Rival Universe down together, right? You will pretty much not see those teams without Vados on the bench at the very least, and you're going to see her have an incredible amount of playtime. I would say that she's like probably like one of the best, if not the best, support units in the game. What do you think?
Well, as we mentioned off camera, and I'll just go ahead and say it for this video, I put Vados all the way at number 1 in my personal book, and she goes beyond that, where I think a lot of people, as you've already mentioned, underestimate support units in general, and this unit has unlimited value in my opinion. Every single time you swap out a Vados, assuming your team is God Key or Rival Universe, your entire team gets a 10% HP increase. You get 35% damage increase, you get your key, and you get a permanent 5% damage increase every single time you swap this unit out. Those what I just read off alone makes this unit justifiable to the point where I've looked at units like Red 18 that have the ambiguous heal for the full team, and I've considered running her. But Vados makes it to where if she didn't have a line of text requiring God Key Rival Universe, she would be on literally every single team in the game, unstoppable. She comes into the field, gets key, gets level 1 card draw speed, and just damage up that she even needs it, and starts dealing decent damage, taking out your team. Her green card lowers your entire substitution count for your team by 3, reduces your enemy's key by 40, and shuts down their key recovery. So unless they have key recovery up, they're just dead in the water, unable to do anything to you. When you swap in with her, she blows up 2 of your opponent's cards, just ending combos right then and there. Pretty much the only way to deal with Vados reliably is an unreliable combo drop. Your opponent has to mess up with this character. If they're protecting their Vados and they're just going in, getting the heals, getting back out, swapping to a unit like Topo, Revival Goku, anything that's confident enough to take an enemy hit, Vados just makes your team unkillable. You have, when a unit like Vados exists, you have to answer it with Rising Rush. There's very few teams that have a damage output to just outpace the God Key team when Vados is a part of it. Same with Rival Universe, and it's just this unit right here will stand the test of time, very much like Whis did. She will be around for a very, very long time.
Oh yeah, definitely 100% agree. I think something too that I just quickly wanted to mention is the fact that, so on top of her just having just an insane kit, is the fact that on her main ability, she's also healing, right? She has a team heal. She gives the damage buff and stuff like that. But something that I absolutely love about this unit is that she's able to cancel all of your allies' attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions. And that could be used in a variety of different ways. Because I know like there's some units that, like I think Angel Vegeta, we'll go into more about him later on. But I'm pretty sure like his main ability like stops like your health restoration, right? And if you pop this Vados main ability after that, you can go ahead and just wipe that and then continue going on and healing and doing all that good stuff.
No,
that's something that's just absolutely amazing.
I would say, as far as we understand Dragon Ball Legends right now, if Vados had endurance, she would be the absolute pinnacle of support. There would be nothing else to give this unit. She would have it all.
Oh
so
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of people that have a very much of a hate relationship if the unit, if they don't run God Key. She's and by the way, as you said, she's the glue. I don't think she needs to be removed or anything, but she's definitely one of the core members of any Rival Universe or God Key setup.
Oh yeah, 100%. We absolutely love Vados here on the 5-9 Gaming channel. And so moving on to number 3. So this is definitely, I think a lot of people are going to like this placement for this guy because he's just absolutely just been dominating since release. He's just been withstood the test of time. I think he's been out since Majin Vegeta came out. Is going to be Revival Cell. So I want to hear your thoughts on this unit right here, Prof.
Well, there are 2 negatives to this Revival Cell. It's easier to go off the things this unit does not do well than it is to list off all the things he does, aggressively good. First off, he's very squishy, as he would need to be. This unit, it's very often that you're gonna one shot or one combo his first life. That's if your opponent doesn't swap out and they're just soaking some damage, it's very likely you can just annihilate his first HP bar. So that's definitely a weak point. His second weak point being that his Z ability, in my personal opinion, is not optimal. You have to be Android to regeneration to get the first half, and then a powerful opponent to get the second half. It's a small point. A lot of people don't even care about Z abilities on their 3 core units, but and you'll find out that this unit is pretty much on every future team, so it clearly doesn't matter. But I would say that's the only thing he falls short of. Especially after transformation, he's got one of the best green cards in the game. It's kind of like Frieza's stun, but it's a projectile. You know, the little death beam. It can stop someone's rising bush. It immobilizes them. I believe they take more damage. Oh, you actually get damage increase as well. When you ever read that for the first time? I just knew about the debuff. So yeah, so he's got one of my favorite green cards. Blue card hits like a truck, but it's a generic blast armor melee blue card. He just kind of hits you and deletes half your HP bar. I think the biggest thing with this cell and why he holds the position he does is obviously the revival mechanic. We debated even putting Clapku on here. I know that a lot of people in the community don't like him, but the revival mechanic in all Dragon Ball Legends probably has to be the single most powerful mechanic in the game. Oh, yeah. There's nothing else that completely stops a Rising Rush, completely stops anything in its tracks. The joke is whenever you think of a unit that can't be one shot, it's literally only the revival units. And currently we're in a meta where a single perfect vanish or a single called Rising Rush can mean the entire game. And Cell is your Uno reverse to that moment. You can just throw him in front of the bus, he'll take the hit for you and come back a full HP unit. And after he transforms, his defenses are, I would say, on par with most of the units that are non-Zenkai these days. And then his offensive stats are just through the roof. Like, Cell can 100 to 0 pretty much any Zenkai unit in the game right now.
Oh, yeah. Definitely, dude. Yeah, this Cell is just... He was definitely a work of art. I'm glad that you did point out his weaknesses, too, because that is something that I definitely often glance over, is the fact that needing the Android and regeneration tags to go ahead and get his full Z ability as well as the powerful opponent tag. But it's just it's crazy that, dude, like, these revival units, like how you said we were even considering Clapku on here, it honestly makes me think, like, what is going to be the cap for these revival units, because like you said, a lot of people do put they downgrade or they put Clapku at a lower tier than what I personally think he should be at, but it's just a matter of the fact that it's just such a strong ability, and I'm kind of scared to see if they actually make units even better than the revival units that we currently have.
Well, like, and I think Bandai is hesitant with units like Transforming Cell and Clapco because, imagine a unit that is bulky and it revives. I could very quickly see this getting out of hand, right? And so it seems like they've etched a clear flaw in both of them. And I think with Clapku, and not trying to talk about units that are on our list, a lot of people feel like he just underperforms in the damage department. Everything else, he's there. He's got it all. But this Cell, it's the inverse, right? He can't take a hit very well, but he dishes one out. Especially as we're talking about that green card, he very much has that same green 21 effect. That you land that green card, he gets to pick and choose who's going to execute. Maybe you swap into a type effective unit and use their ultimate, even though it's not Cell's attack. It was his attack initially that earned you the combo, right? And so, I think this unit is very powerful for that reason alone.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, so that being said, we're going to go ahead and move on to our number 2 pick. We have the transforming green Goku Black. So this, I feel like a lot of you guys out there, a lot of the audience are probably wondering why this guy isn't our number 1, but that's why we're here to go ahead and explain. So let's go ahead and hop right into this guy's kit and basically like the meat and bone of all this stuff right here. I definitely do like Goku Black, right? Like, I think he's definitely like one of the strongest like transforming units that we have. I think transforming units just in general are just absolutely wonderful, right? You have the transforming Cell or the revival Cell, you have the transforming DKP, and this guy is just, to this day, he can handle Zenkai units, and I think that's like a really good benchmark to have these units at, is like, can they handle Zenkai units? And I think it's 100% safe to say that this guy is going to withstand the test of time. I've seen this guy like completely like one combo Zenkai 7, like even like Father Son Kamehameha Gohan. I've seen him one combo that unit because he does have the buff against hybrids as well, right? And so I'm sure you've seen a lot of this guy as well, right, Prof?
Yeah, so this unit's remarkable. One, now that Super Saiyan 3 Goku has a Zenkai, the Legends Limited one, you can technically bench a Zenkai for him. I guess you could always do it with Beerus, but just was always kind of janky.
Yeah.
This unit never needed it. His multipliers are all through the roof. You've already mentioned one of them. He has just base damage to Hybrid Saiyans. I believe he enters the field with 70% damage increase, but every time he draws a card, I believe his damage goes up as well. And
Yep.
this unit is all about drawing cards. If he has a green card in his hand, he gives himself 3 new cards. If you use his second main ability, it gives you 4 new cards. He has healing out the rear. He just keeps restoring, getting ki. Like, he's one of the more obnoxious units to go up against because the man is always doing something. And that's just because they made him so powerful. He even has one of the most annoying abilities in the game, is that every time you hit him, you lose ki. That'll completely shut down your final card in your combo. There's been plenty of times that I've miscalculated versus Goku Black, and I haven't been able to lead into my ultimate. This unit is just, I guess they like to say, Unga Boonga offensive like dream. You start a combo with him, and if you have any kind of card draw manipulation or key to follow up on, maybe you're following off of the purple future Vegeta or something, right? This unit just keeps going. And he even feeds into his LF counterpart perfectly. You can just swap in to get another Striker's card and cap it off with an ultimate. So I'm very impressed with this unit. As you said, he's one of the transforming units, so his base stat total actually is on par with Zenkai. Not just at, he is on par with Zenkai. His offensive stats even exceed some of them. This unit was definitely a very powerhousey unit. I think same with the Cell. I don't really like his Z ability. At least it's really good for future, but that's pretty much all you're going to be pairing him up with, is future powerful opponents. So yeah,
Exactly.
No, he does the job very well.
Oh yeah, and I think honestly, it was kind of just, I think he deserved this number 2 spot personally, and some people might say that he probably should have been on the number 1 spot. So that's why we're going to lead into the number 1 spot. The person as our number 1 pick for 5-9 Gaming is going to be the number 1 Angel Vegeta. And so, if you guys do know, Prof is literally a top 10 player. And so I think it's safe to say that Prof runs into this guy a lot. Isn't that right?
Yeah, so we mused at the idea that I run Red Gohan. And so uniquely, this unit gives me 0 problems. And that's because, one of his main things is that he reduces ki when he swaps in. Gohan gets ki when he sees an enemy, so it's actually a wash. And, well, I have type advantage with my most powerful unit. But that doesn't keep me from understanding just how powerful this unit is, and despite me having a clear advantage over him, he doesn't care. This unit is all about making your allies invincible, and he does it very, very well with constant team heals. He has another team heal on his main ability. I believe he can go type neutrality on his main ability as well for 30 timer counts.
Yep.
This unit enables the strongest team in the game to hold that position in pretty much all scenarios for the colors. Like, there are a couple of really confident yellow Saiyans, but the team itself, which is obviously you run him on the Saiyan team. You can, I guess, run him with the Vegeta family, but you run him with Saiyans. And on the Saiyan team, you're pretty much fighting with Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Namek Goku the whole time. Depending on the team setup, obviously you'll be swapping different units in, but this unit pretty much makes those two into an impenetrable wall. And you got to respect that this man is throwing hands with all the Zenkai units and coming out on top. So yeah. I've got to really appreciate this Vegeta.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think this goes back to our argument that we were making with Vados too, is that support units definitely don't get the love that they deserve. And that's why we're giving them their love right here, is because this guy, again, is going to, like how you said, he's the glue of those Saiyans. Like, even though he may be sandwiched in between 2 Zenkais at all times, that's not to say that he's getting carried. He's doing his part and more. He's making sure they're staying alive. He's making sure they're getting, like, these buffs and all that stuff. I think he even has that specific buff for Goku, right? Where he makes sure, like, I think he does make sure that he doesn't have, like, abnormal conditions, or he has the immunities, right? And it's just, he is just, alongside the Super Saiyan 3 Gokus and even the Nameku, like, he's just absolutely chef's kiss. I have seen this guy be ran on Vegeta family on a couple occasions, but you definitely see him alongside the LF Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Shout out to Ryuden. This guy is truly his best partner. He just, the amount of stuff that he can do. I know, in your case, Prof, like, yes, his father-son Kamama Gohan doesn't really care about his cover change, reducing the enemy ki, but against other teams, that can be really crippling in some scenarios, and kind of like forcing them to have an ult or something like that.
I mainly brought that point up to show that he's got all this great stuff in his kit. Like, the second part of his kit seems to be all about getting his own damage up, but you don't need that. He gives it's up to 3 times, so it's not every single time. So similar to Red Zenkai Trunks, you need to plan your heals with him. But if you get full optimal healing from this Vegeta, he's going to give your whole team 55% more HP. Like,
yeah.
That is an extra unit and a half that your opponent is going to have to eliminate in order to win the game. And the 2 units that you're now multiplying, giving an extra 55% HP to, is Namek Goku and Super Saiyan 3 Goku, 2 of the tankiest units in the entire meta right now. And you're making them just that much more effective. And then forbid you throw, Raditz or something on your bench to make these heals even more potent. I think this unit is I brought up the key. You lose key when he swaps in, right? I think that that can be worked around. There's a lot of units with excessive key recovery or that get key when they see new enemies. If he had a support like Vados, I brought up she's the pinnacle support. If he had like a strike, blast cover, or blue up card similar to Vados, he would be the pinnacle of support. Then no question. This man, like her, is just missing endurance just to be just downright broken. And even then, there's probably some people that would say this unit is on the game breaking side.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And let me
let
me praise him really quick for having an A1 Z ability of strike and blast defense by 35% to 2 tags.
Oh man.
So you combine that with one of the units I've been talking about, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and you're stacking defense out just constantly, and then you're healing on top of it. This man is worth it, even if he's on the bench.
100%. Oh man, yeah, I definitely do love this unit. I'm pretty sure a lot of others love this unit as well, especially Saiyan mains have to. Like, they have no choice but to love this unit, even if they don't want to. So that being said, that's going to be a 5-9 Gaming's top 10 tier list for non-Zenkai, non-LF units. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow us on all of our social media. It greatly helps grow the channel and stuff like that. We want to stay connected with you guys as well. This is Azdeek, joined by Professor Sensei, and we are heading out. See you guys in the next one.
Later.